In this Fulfilling Orders lesson, we'll discuss basic setup and configurations for shipping orders. After you complete this lesson, you'll be able to explain shipping parameters and describe how they're used. You'll also be able to define a carrier and explain the different shipping cost types. You'll be able to list the supported shipping documents and describe common shipping exceptions. Finally, you'll be able to identify the shipping lookups you may need and verify the required user roles. Our first topic is shipping parameters. The Manage Shipping Parameters page is where you, as the warehouse manager, choose the default shipping parameter options for your organization. To get there, start from the navigator, select Others, and then click Setup and Maintenance. In the Setup and Maintenance work area, select the Manufacturing and Supply Chain Materials Management offering. Then, search for the Manage Shipping Parameters task and select it under the Shipping Functional area. The screenshot on this slide shows the Manage Shipping Parameters page with its default values. It includes most of the page, but not every section is visible. You assign default shipping parameter values at the inventory organization level. These defaults cover basic shipping setup, such as shipment creation criteria, pick release behavior, and shipment grouping settings. On the Manage Shipping Parameters page, you'll see these parameters organized into regions. The key regions are General, Pick Release, and Optional Shipment Grouping Attributes. On the General Shipping Parameters page, you can control key shipping behaviors. You can define how shipments are created and whether they can be merged. You can also set defaults for packing and ship confirm, and specify how shipment sets should be handled. In addition, you configure defaults for weights, volume, and currency, and define how shipping interfaces with inventory and other applications. This diagram highlights how the pick release shipping parameters sets the default behavior when you run the pick release process. The release sequence rule controls the order in which shipment lines are allocated to inventory, and it appears as the default on the pick release page. It's a good practice to default the rule you use most often and then adjust it as needed when you launch pick release. The pick slip grouping rule defines how release lines are grouped on pick slips and how pick slip numbers are generated. Print pick slips determines when pick slips are printed, and number of picking lines set how many lines print on each pick slip. Staging subinventory and staging locators specify where orders are transferred for staging. Number of pick release child processes controls how many parallel child processes run, and pick release batch size controls how many lines are released per batch. Shipping enforces a minimum batch size of 50 and a maximum of 1,000. Shipment grouping attributes control how shipment lines are grouped into shipments when shipments are created automatically. By default, the application always groups by the required attributes, which are the ship from location and the ship to location. You can also choose to group shipments by optional attributes, including the shipping method, FOB, freight terms, and customer. Our next topic is carriers. A carrier is a commercial company that transports shipments to and from customers, suppliers, and internal organizations. A carrier can offer different service levels and transportation modes. If the enforced ship method shipping parameter is enabled, you must assign a carrier to a shipment before you can ship confirm it. In Oracle, a carrier is stored as a party in the trading community architecture with transportation provider as the party usage. Some carrier attributes, such as the active flag, manifesting enabled flag, and any flex fields are stored in the WSH schema for the carrier entity. A shipping method is the concatenation of the freight carrier, the service level, and the mode, such as less than truckload. You also need to assign the shipping method to an organization before that organization can use it. Transportation schedules define valid shipping days and hours for suppliers, shippers, customers, and internal organizations. These calendars are optional, and they define when parties can ship and receive. Our next topic is shipping cost types. You can define shipping cost types for charges such as insurance, handling, and loading or unloading. You can attach shipping cost types to shipments, and you can attach more than one cost type to the same shipment. This also lets you group and report cost using the shipping cost type. Before you define freight cost, you need to complete a few prerequisites. You must define the values for the freight cost type lookups. You also need to define a pricing modifier and optionally a pricing formula so that freight costs can be passed to order management in Oracle Fusion receivables. You define these costs in the freight cost types windows. In that window, you specify the freight cost name, cost type, currency, amount, and the effective period. The diagram on the slide shows examples of different shipment cost types and how they can be assigned at different levels, including shipments, shipment lines, and containers. Next, we'll discuss shipping documents and sequences. This slide contains screenshots of various documents utilized during shipping, including a bill of lading, packing slips, mailing labels, and a commercial invoice. A job set is a collection of multiple jobs grouped into a single process set that you submit all at once, instead of running each job separately. In shipping, you can create your own job sets and trigger them through rules at ship confirmation. To navigate to the setup, start from the navigator, select Others, and then click Setup and Maintenance. On the Setup page, select the Order Management offering. In the Search Task field, enter Manage Enterprise Scheduler, and then select Manage Enterprise Scheduler job definitions and job sets for financial, supply chain management, and related applications. A shipping document job set can include the paperwork you need to complete a shipment, such as the bill of lading, packing slip, and commercial invoices. For example, you might create a job set that automatically prints a specific document package when the shipment is going to a particular country. To enable Manage and Distribute Shipping Documents, go to the navigator, select Others, and then select Setup and Maintenance. In the Setup and Maintenance work area, choose the Manufacturing and Supply Chain Materials Management offering. Then on the Offering page setup, click Change Features Opt-in. On the Opt-in page, you'll then select Features for Shipping, and then on the Edit Features, Shipping, enable Manage and Distribute Shipping Documents. Finally, click Done. Next, configure business rules to run the job set by using the Manage Shipping Documents Job Set Rules task. Configure how documents are delivered, such as print, email, or fax, by using the Manage Shipping Documents Output Preference task. If you need to send documents to external parties, you can integrate using Oracle Integration Cloud, and you can also use a service to retrieve a specific report from the job set for a shipment. You can set up job set rules to trigger creation of a specific shipping document when certain conditions are met. For example, if the customer shipped to attribute is Italy, you can automatically print an Italian packing slip, a commercial invoice, and a bill of lading. When you build these rules, you can use attributes such as ship from organization, ship to organization, customer, customer shipped to, supplier, supplier order type, customer country, carrier, and shipping method. You create and maintain shipping document job set rules in the Setup and Maintenance work area. You build these rules using the Visual Information Builder, which is the same tool you used for other rule setups earlier in the course. The screenshot on this slide shows an example rule on the Manage Shipping Document Job Set Rules page. For more detail, refer to the Manage and Distribute Shipping Documents Transfer of Information video. The link is included in your student guide. To navigate there, go to the navigator, select Others, and then select Setup and Maintenance. On the Setup page, choose the Manufacturing and Supply Chain Materials Management offering. In the Search task, then enter Manage Shipping Documents Job Set Rules. When you ship confirm a shipment, a shipping document job set is triggered. You can set preferences for shipping documents by choosing the delivery method, such as print, email, or fax. You can define these preferences based on the user, job role, inventory organization, or subinventory. You can set preferences at either the job set level or the individual job level. The preferences include layout and format, which defaults from the Oracle Business Intelligence Publisher server settings, and you can override those defaults at the job level if needed. Each business document or event can be identified by a document sequence number, but you only get that number if you enable document sequencing for the document or event. For example, when sequencing is enabled, an invoice generated from a purchase order can automatically receive a sequence number. Document sequences help you track both successful and failed transactions, and they support auditability by choosing how a transaction moved through different applications. For shipping, you define sequences on the Document Sequences page, and you can set up unique sequences for the bill of lading and packing slip. On the Manage Shipping Document Sequence page, you specify the application and module, the sequence type, the determinant type, the effective start and end dates, and the initial value. You can also enable auditing, display a message that shows the sequence name and number, and validate the transaction date. The bill of lading and packing slip sequences are predefined, and once set up, they're assigned to shipping documents to produce sequenced output. Our next topic is exceptions. During shipping and transportation, situations can come up where a shipment doesn't meet the requirements of your business, a carrier, or customer. These situations are called shipping exceptions, and the activity of resolving them is referred to as handling shipping exceptions. You use shipping exceptions to detect and manage non-conforming shipping activities before they impact execution or customer commitments. Oracle provides some seeded exceptions out of the box, and you can also create your own manual exceptions when you need to track issues specific to your processes. Shipping exceptions can be raised at different levels, including the shipment line, and container. For each shipping entity, the exception logged against it is available on the Review Shipment Exception page. Shipping exceptions are categorized by type, and the type includes error, warning, and information. You can define shipping exceptions to match your specific business requirements. For example, if a carrier doesn't deliver goods to the customer on time, you can define an exception for delayed delivery, and then manually log that exception against the carrier on the relevant shipping entity. You define shipping exceptions on the Manage Shipping Executions page. In that setup, you provide basic attributes such as the exception name, description, type, and severity. The next topic is lookups. Lookups are used across the application. A lookup is defined through a lookup type, which contains a set of lookup codes, each code's translated meaning, and optionally a tag. In the user interface, users typically see the translated meaning as the selectable values. Lookups help with validation by ensuring users select from a controlled list with no duplicates. For example, the database might store values like Y and N, but the user selects yes or no, or the translated equivalents in the UI. When you create a new standard lookup, you either create or select a lookup type, add the lookup codes, and define the meanings you want to use. Lookup types also have customization levels, which supports data security policies by controlling who can edit the lookup types and its codes. Shipping includes many lookups, and 4 shipping lookup types have a customization level of user. These are shipping priority, freight cost type, freight charge terms, and transportation reason. Our final topic for the lesson, roles. The shipping process starts when a sales order is created in order management. A reservation is then created to allocate material to that order and prevent it from being consumed by other demand. From there, the warehouse manager monitors sales orders and releases them for picking. The warehouse manager also generates pick slips to support outbound material movement and creates pick waves to drive more efficient warehouse execution. The warehouse operator monitors and performs the picking work. Pick loads can include outbound, replenishment, and requisition pick slip types. Typically searches for a pick slip and confirms it as a single step, using the pick slip report as the instruction for material movement. The shipping agent processes outbound shipments, including packing, creating shipments, and resolving shipping exceptions. At Ship Confirm, the shipping agent can generate required documents such as the carrier bill of lading. The shipping agent can also send shipping messages and updates to trading partners, including shipment content, status, details, and shipment requests to support integration with external systems. In addition, the shipping agent captures shipping-related costs and assigns them at the shipment line, or packing unit levels. Finally, shipping sends the completed shipping information down and cost management for further processing. This lesson includes a student practice for creating a carrier. To wrap up this lesson, you should now be able to explain shipping parameters and describe how they're used. You should